Yo, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Ascended Verses. I am Ascended Breath. I'm an artist based in Atlanta, and this show is specifically designed to encourage artists to keep moving forward and do what you know you're supposed to do. Whenever artists live out their true intentions and their true meaning, the world becomes a more authentic place. This show features poetry, features hip-hop, and again, this is episode 14. Thank you for tuning in and being here. I've got 3 pieces today that I want to share with you all. The first one is called Soul Alarm. So here we go. Love composes these lines, so know that you can trust this. Humanity must realize that this system is destructive. Fear, panic, and rage keep us caged, so fuck this structure in which we're paid to not organize and crush this. Our spirits and our souls are bright and illustrious, so it's lunacy to kill humans just to show toughness. What are we doing? So consumed with mass violence and roughness? We've misconstrued for the worst the true meaning of justice. So the words should read just ice. For mankind's hearts are frozen, or perhaps they've been stolen. Our dirty deeds done daily make me sick to my colon. My brain is swollen, but these words are golden, and especially chosen to expose the negative tendencies within our program. So it's short and sweet. It's just a wake-up call to all of us that we need to be more conscious in manifesting the world that we want to see. There's so much negativity, and we learn through the negativity, so it's not like we can't entertain negativity. We need to understand it. We need to kind of spar with it to really understand ourselves better. But ultimately, we want to vibrate higher. We want to put better energy out into the space. So that was Soul Alarm. So this next piece I recently came up with. The whole point of it is to also encourage people to live the life that they need to live. A lot of times we get bogged down and we forget the whole purpose of being here. And when we forget, it's tough for us to find our way. If you forget where you live and you're lost, you're just kind of wandering around. And that's what I try to avoid, and that's what I try to demonstrate in my poetry. So the name of this piece is called Don't Compromise. Neglect yourself and you'll soon see why. Patience for others soon runs dry. Though we all are here to share, it's hard to do without a stare inside your soul to see what's needed. The signs are clear if you'll just read them. You need time alone to see that what makes you happy makes you free. What happened? You used to believe that you could accomplish anything. You planted but forgot about your seeds. Remember, like you, they require feed. Listen in silence, clear and sharp. The answers come right from your heart. It always knows how you should start. To follow it is the highest art. You'll know for sure you're on the path because joy will find you in your craft. We're afraid, a lot of us, to do the things that bring us the most happiness, that bring us the most joy. And that's when we start living inauthentically. We start chasing money, and money is good, you need money. But we forget that thing that makes us get up every day and live. For me, it's poetry, it's writing, it's art, hip hop, it's music. Without that, I would be lost. So I try to give my best self to others to encourage them to do the same. And the last piece is called And Their Eyes Weren't Watching God. This piece kind of came to me after realizing that there is so much negativity in the world. Being at a place now where I can think more critically about why we have it, I'm able to parse out my thoughts in a poetic format that kind of gives people the central nuggets of what I see as true. And so this piece again is called And Their Eyes Weren't Watching God. Empty convictions, killing for addictions, mind states conflicted, judgments, suspicions, dysfunctional systems, the cause and the symptom, shame and depression, wrath and aggression, massive obsession with false projections. To me, it seems pretty self-explanatory that we have so many of us addicted to drugs and instant gratification, whether it's pornography, whether it's sex, food. Everybody has some kind of addiction, and none of us are perfect. We're all working through it. When we choose to work through it is when we're at our best, because, part of the Bible talks about all of sin that comes short of the glory of God. Well, if you think about it in terms of just being human, we're always going to make mistakes. That's part of it. We're not machines. We're going to make mistakes. We're at our best though when we try to improve and stop making the same mistakes, because making the same mistakes destroys us. And our mind states, they're conflicted. Some days we want to do this, some days we want to do that. Some days we hate, some days we love. Some days we're nice, some days we're mean. And it's like this middle way that the Buddhists always talk about, which tends to give us the best outlook on life. We judge and we're suspicious of other people for good reason a lot of times. I prefer that concept of discernment over judgment, because judgment has a finality to it, where I know the truth and this is the truth, whether I'm right or wrong, or whether the perspective is more nuanced as it is with discernment. We still hang on to our judgments, and that can get us into trouble a lot of times. And obviously being suspicious of people without reason can get us into trouble. We do have times when we are suspicious of people, and we kind of have to be in today's world to an extent, because you never know when somebody's trying to do you in and take something from you. So I think right between suspicion and judgment is discernment. My feeling is that our systems are dysfunctional. So that's the cause of all of the things that I've talked about, and it's also the symptom. So there's this 2-for-1 thing where, it's like the chicken come before the egg. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Our systems are a result of our behaviors, our attitudes in the past. But then our behaviors and our attitudes are a result of the system that we have. A lot of people have mental issues and problems because of the way this capitalist society works. And we need to be more conscious of our motivations and what motivates us towards certain behaviors and certain ideas. Shame and depression, wrath and aggression, massive obsession with false projections. We tend to look at life from a limited view because we're just one being. All of us are experiencing life as just one human. So as many perspectives as we can take in, the more well-rounded we'll have of an outlook on life. And that's what we want. And when we have that more well-rounded outlook, we may begin by being depressed. I know when I first started understanding the world, I was really depressed and really angry. Like, how could these things happen? How could people drop bombs on whole groups of other people? And how could people walk up to people and shoot them in cold blood or steal somebody's livelihood from them? But then you start to realize that I'm projecting a world, my idea of a world. The world should be this way. The world should be that way. And I set myself up for anger and depression and sadness when the world doesn't equate to the way I look at it. It takes sensitivity and balance and meditation to see that ultimately everything is for the good, even the things that appear evil. Things are for the ultimate good going forward. Kind of that eternal battle between darkness and light. It's ongoing. And that's where I am now, is constantly seeking that balance and not going off too far to the right, too far to the left, too far up, too far down. Just staying centered, but allowing myself to explore the extremes so that I can understand it better. So thank you guys. That was episode 14 of Ascended Verses. If you want to be a part of the show, come on and do your own poetry, your own music. I'd love to have you. Definitely send me an email. You can contact me on social media. Feel free to subscribe. Please do. And I will see you guys on episode 15 of Ascended Verses. Peace.